take a second to think, what is the art of empathy? The art of empathy is the idea to connect with a person or situation deeply and effectively. Now, empathy itself is defined as feeling that one feels to understanding and sharing a person's experience. In better words, taking a walk in their shoes. An example of empathy is the 1988 film Beetle Juice by Tim Burton. Some may have empathy toward the character Barbara. The character brings infertility and miscarriage to light. So, the story starts out in a small town in New England. The couple Adam and Barbara are introduced when the couple start their vacation at home. The couple live in a big white house on a hill. However, they have a friend named Jane. She's also a realtor. She shows up at their house unexpectedly one morning. When Jane shows up, she's been trying to sell this house to other people with families, and she comes to tell Barbara that there's a couple willing to buy this house. She says this offer is real from a man in New York. He wants to bring his wife and family up here for some peace and quiet. Barbara, on the other hand, isn't having it. She doesn't want to sell her house. She loves her house. She then tells Barbara after she declines to sell it, but Barbara, this house is really too big. It should be for a couple with a family. All right. Now, if you've seen this movie, in the scene, Barbara's face just completely just goes, whew. She's upset because she wants to have a family. It's very clear, but she can't. This scene could be shown as Barbara and Adam as less than other families due to not being able to have kids. It also shows in Barbara's face, again, that she is upset with Jane when she says this because Jane knows her struggles with getting pregnant. Jane sees that in her face, and when she sees it, she says, "Oh, Pumpkin, I didn't mean anything. It's just that really this house is too big." So, imagine being in the position and not being able to have children. And, I mean, Jane isn't thinking because she can. So, I feel empathy towards Barbara because that's a really sad feeling. And someone not being sensitive about it, it doesn't help. Later that evening, Barbara and Adam drive to the parts store so Adam can get parts for his car. When riding in the car, Barbara states, "Jane says we should sell our house to someone with a family." Adam then replies, "Well, I don't think it's any of Jane's business. Besides, we could try again on this vacation, you know." So they're very optimistic with the idea that they can still try and that possibly it could happen. But they still have faith and hope it's still possible. This makes the audience show empathy on the couple because imagine being infertile or having a miscarriage and you still have faith it's possible to conceive. So again, walking in their shoes, I mean, you still feel like it's possible. You always have that little bit of faith that it can happen. Now, the unfortunate event, on the way home, the couple swerve to avoid hitting a dog and land their car in a ravine off the bridge. A light look on this death is the couple soon discover they are dead and accept it. So then in the movie, the audience then accepts that they're dead as well. After the couple soon embrace their death when the new family moves in. So that couple that Jane was talking about moves in and they have a little girl named Lydia. I wouldn't say little, she's actually a teenager, but she's very different than the family. She dresses in all black, is very kept to herself. I think this director brings this character to light to help ease Adam and Barbara's pain. So in the film, Barbara and Adam try and get the family to see them, but none of them can see them. So Barbara may not be able to conceive her own, but she can want to care for someone like they were her own. Throughout the film, they try to get the new family to notice them. When Lydia is finally able to see them, the couple is ecstatic, and the living's not supposed to see the dead in this film. Happiness shines from the couple. The couple begins to develop a bond with Lydia. The character is also portrayed as dark. She tells Adam and Barbara she can see them because most people ignore the strange and unusual, and I myself am strange and unusual. According to the handbook from the recently deceased, Rule 2 is a living will not see the dead. She also is bonding with them because she is one of them. So, to look back on Barbara she knows she can't have kids now that she's dead. And she now has this girl in her home, and she wants to bond with this girl because she cares about her. And she sees that she's alone, and I feel that this is, again, walking in her shoes. You're going to feel like someone actually is there, and that's like your child. As Lydia grows to care for Adam and Barbara, she eventually writes a suicide note talking about committing suicide off the same bridge as they did, which they didn't commit suicide, but she wants to be with them. She seeks counsel from Barbara to talk about it, and Barbara states that she doesn't want her to do that. She's like, I like that little girl, and I want to be with her, but she wants her to live. And at the end of the film, it shows Lydia dancing with Adam and Barbara. So walk in the shoes of Adam and Barbara. They just want a family, and they end up with a family that's living. Like, the whole family knows that they're there, and Lydia's part of it. They got to know one of each other, and in the end, whether it be something they created or they found, that truly is an art of empathy.